This segment is sponsored by Feed More.
The ongoing COVID-19 pandemic has had an impact on food insecurity right here in Central Virginia. Joining us to talk more about that and how you can help is Doug Pick, President and CEO at Feed More. Doug, it's wonderful to see you.
Oh, great seeing you, Jess. How are you?
I'm well. You know, Doug, we've talked with you, we've talked with your team over the course of many years about the situation here in Central Virginia. There certainly is an incredible demand and need under the best of circumstances, which I will call, to a year plus ago. The COVID-19 and this pandemic has really exacerbated that here, hasn't it?
Indeed, and quite honestly, more drastically than we ever would have thought. Prior to COVID, we were probably dealing with about 161,000 folks who were food insecure, not sure where their next meal is coming from. And most unfortunately, within about 6 weeks, those numbers increased by 80,000, another 50%, taking the numbers of folks we look after and work with to 241,000.
When you take a second to really digest that, it virtually doubled in an incredibly short amount of time. Feed More works to help in this community, but Feed More needs help. How is Feed More making an impact?
Well, we quite honestly, we had a little forewarning through the VCU health system that it was coming. So we had our mitigation strategies in place, and we've been able to increase what our distributions from anywhere from 30 to 50% throughout this last year. The average being about 40% increase of food distributions. Our network of wonderful, wonderful agencies, about 270 of them, have held up. We've certainly given them additional assistance by way of grants. We've taken some of the great largesse of this community and passed through $1 million worth of grants to our agencies, and maybe another $1 million coming soon. So we've been able to step up because this community stepped up and helped all of us, and it's just been wonderful to see and be part of.
That really is inspiring and incredibly important to know. As you said, the Food to Agency Network, you partner with so many food pantries in our community, that Meals on Wheels program, certainly the programs oriented for kids, and all the other various programs. You said something a second ago, Doug, that really piqued my interest too, having that regional collaboration, that you were prepared for this, that you knew thanks to the insights with VCU. As this continues, talk a little bit more about those kind of distinctions, those regional collaborations, and how you are able to be an agency of distinction in our community.
Well, we are nothing without each other, as is the case in society. So these 270 agencies, 70% of them are places of faith of all religions, who also believe that it's important to help their local communities. Feed More is bigger service area than most people would realize, 29 counties and 5 cities. So these 270 agencies are throughout the entire geography that we serve. Some are smaller, some are quite large. Our friends at Chesterfield Food Bank are one of our great and wonderful large agencies that do an awful lot of good down there in the southern part of Chesterfield. But we have great agencies in South Hill and in Farmville and in Northern Neck. They really have stepped up. Their volunteers have stepped up. And it's this synergy and the whole being greater than sum of the parts that really allows us to scale at this time of need and to address the need, particularly for this newly appearing group of folks who are the recently unemployed. They're the folks who've really created this additional surge in need.
And Doug, we were talking about how, we're going through this journey together, but in our own individual ways. Let's talk a little bit specifically about who Feed More serves, and as you were starting to talk about this new face of hunger in our community.
Sure, we continue to serve just the low income folks who are. It's stunning to me that 50% of this country does not have $400 at time of need. So those folks who we've been working with for emergency purposes, their plight just got deeper. It got worse. Those are the same folks that are first to get into trouble during an economic downturn and then last to get out. And then when you add to that the newly unemployed, it really exasperated a system that was tight, and then of course got tighter. Luckily, the mitigation strategies we had in place were able to deal with that. But it is folks that really break your heart who used to donate to us, who used to volunteer for us, who now may be in one of those cars and maybe one of those folks going to a pantry with these heart-wrenching stories of never thought I'd be here. Can't wait for those folks to get back on their feet and to get to a place, and that's where they want to go. No one aspires to live off food stamps and food banks. We look forward to not only feeding the line, but hopefully shortening the line as time moves on.
That face of need is us, and it is our neighbors. And so it's up to us to make a big difference. We're out of time, but Doug, I have to ask you, you mentioned support, and you get that through individuals in the community and from businesses. Midas of Richmond made a contribution possible that really is helping as well. And you depend on those kind of partnerships.
We do. The largesse of the citizens and what they've done. And then, of course, our corporate partners, and then very special people like Mark Smith, who looks after Midas of Richmond, has been an outstanding partner for us throughout the years. Mark understands hunger and food insecurity. He's one of the most genuine, authentic business owners I've ever seen. When he talks about this, I can promise you he means it. He's stepped up even further, as a lot of corporations and businesses have. But it's special individuals like that and just this special community that truly understands that those who have much is expected. And they understood it. They've stepped up. And we've been happy to be part of enabling their support and their generosity to make manifest in what we've done for those clients and those individuals who so need it. It's a tough time, but it's a stunning time to be part of this community and to see that the strongest thing in this world is the human spirit. And we've seen that time and time again from citizens, clients, Mark Smiths of the world. It's quite something to be part of, and we thank you for calling this out today.
Doug, thank you for making time. Thank you for everything you do, and we'll share information so folks watching today know how to learn more.
Great. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
We appreciate you. Feed More is located at 1415 Road Miller Street, right here in Richmond. You can call 804-521-2500 to learn more or to make a donation. Visit online, feedmore.org, and on Facebook at facebook.com/feedmore. Virginia This Morning will be right back after this break.